All right, go ahead.
My name is Gary Jones, and I came to Living Waters because I was diagnosed with a terminal lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. And essentially what happened was that the Western way of medicine had no answer for me. They said there's no cure, nor there is no source of why this lung disease develops. I started talking to some very good friends of mine who are very spiritual in nature, and they said that I should go to find an individual that has the wherewithal to be able to do colonic cleansing. I prayed to God that I could find somebody. And I was looking through my computer, I found Living Waters. And I looked at several other establishments. Now I just kept coming back to Living Waters because it sounded right. So I got on the phone and I called. I got a hold of David. David and I talked on the phone for quite a while. And I said, okay, fine, I'll come down and we'll take a look at this, look at the program, and I'll make a decision. Well, we came down, and my wife and I, we came down to Living Waters, and we essentially audited the system. We went through and found it to be extremely facilitative. They had all the necessary modalities that one could want for any type of malady that you would have, or disease that you would have. Very informative, extremely informative. Both David and Wendy were extremely informative. It's a miracle, absolutely a miracle. You will never believe what the parasites. Anyway, they came out of they came out of both Carol and my system, and spiritually we feel lifted, uplifted. They have spiritual guidance that you can go through, and they help you find the right course in which to, or path as they use, to take in going through your entire life with your life completely changed. All of your attitudes are changed. What I found more important than anything else was that I've always believed in God. I'm a very spiritual individual. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to communicate with God for myself. I could do it for others, and I oftentimes prayed over and over for others. But it wasn't until I went through Living Waters that I learned to pray for myself and to love myself. And if you want an experience that'll be uplifting, and you want to go through a program that is completely, they don't really require that much from you, but they make suggestions in a manner in which you want to follow them. If you follow them, I guarantee you, you'll have a life-changing experience, and hopefully you'll have a miracle as I did.
So when you first came in, you were on oxygen. How long have you been on oxygen?
Well, they said when my diagnosis I was going to be on it 24/7.
Okay, and you were when we saw you.
Absolutely.
I don't see the machine today.
No.
How much are you using it right now, would you say?
Well, it depends upon what I do as far as energy is concerned. Maybe less than 50%, about 40%.
Oh, wow. And what other physical things did you notice changes?
Before I came in here, I had, on the T-zone, I had to use the oxygen. And yesterday I went 2 sessions with the T-zone, which is 20 minutes without the oxygen at all.
Wow.
So that's helped.
Show them your hair. Your hair's had a little change. You guys got to see this. Yeah, this is pretty amazing. That was all gray. You can see there's some darkness. This camera's not doing quite the justice, but there's a lot of blackness coming in, which is pretty neat. So, parasites, you see a few bugs come out of you?
Oh my, you can't believe it. It was incredible. You don't realize how many parasites you have in your body, but I think probably you have accrued your entire lifetime. And, well, it was amazing, absolutely amazing.
How about, you did the liver cleanse?
Yes.
And how about liver stones coming out? Did you see quite a bit this time?
At home, there was not much fecal matter, but there was like, almost like a sand, kind of a reddish brown sand that I saw that was in the toilet itself, which is, when you stop to think about this, pretty scary.
Yeah, yeah.
You have that much stuff in your system, you don't realize that it's there. You have no idea that it's there. And if it hadn't been for the cleanse, I would have never had any idea. Nor, it's a toss-up between the biopad and the colonic cleanse. I would say, from a spiritual standpoint, what I experienced as far as light was concerned that I would have never ever seen in my entire life was probably the biopad. The biopad. From the standpoint of actual realization of what was going on, not from a spiritual standpoint, but from just visual, and the feeling that I had would probably be the colonic cleanse. In fact, Wendy, your wife, she kept saying to you, "Can you stand more of this?" I said, "Certainly." I said, "You can give me as much as I can handle." "Yeah, I can take as much as you can handle." I understand I probably have broken a record that may not be broken for some time.
I think you have, about what I've heard.
But I enjoyed it.
So you also had a nice experience with the bulls one day too.
Oh, incredible! That's when you change your method of playing the bowls. It was the first time, I believe, if I can recall. You changed up one. It was yeah. If you haven't heard David play the bowls, you need to do it. He's good, very good.
That's all the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a complete change. That's pretty cool. For me to witness it, it was cool because to explain to people listening to this, when playing the crystal bowls, they were a screechy. I thought, wow, there's something really blocked here. So I took the bowl over, one of the bowls, and played it on top and around you.
Right.
And then we replayed that other bowl that was really screechy, and the sound completely changed. People understand it, but it's energy.
Right.
And we got the energy to shift, and you were seeing all kinds of colors. You said,
"Oh yeah, I saw colors like greens, huge greens, and purple. Purple was the most magnificent purple I've ever seen in my life. And actually, if you look at the moon, and you look at the solar bursts come from the moon,
right.
This is essentially what I saw was like solar bursts that were coming, from the moon, but not the moon. Excuse me, sun. The sun, I could see it. I could just see it. It would look like they were coming. They were just bursting off the sun, and they were purple, and they exploded.
Huh.
Absolutely exploded, and then kind of diminished and filled my whole vision.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, it was fun for me to experience that with you.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible. I've never seen, and the greens too. And also, you remember when I was sitting there on the couch?
Yeah.
And just sitting on the couch, I saw these orange and reds, and I heard you say at that time, "I really don't want to awaken him." And I thought, "Yeah, I hope he doesn't."
Yeah, you have good experience there. Food, your food taste. Have you noticed your food tastes changing through the cleanse?
I really didn't have that much problem with the food because I knew it was good for me. As far as the taste is concerned, Yeah, I feel a little bit different about the taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that'll come with time.
Yeah.
Because I intend to do this the rest of my life.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks.
Okay.